Russian ambassador to the UN claims his interview was censored after an appearance on CNN. Vitaly Churkin says that CNN made significant cuts to his interview with Christiane Amanpour, which aired on Tuesday night. Churkin says the network cut the majority of his commentary about the situation in Syria and his assertions that a number of people in the country support President Bashar al-Assad. CNN has since published a full transcript of the interview on its website. It also offered this statement to RT. The Amanpour team conducted a lengthy interview, making it clear that it was taped and would be cut down for length and time on air. This is normal practice for taped interviews. We never do anything to an interview that would alter its meaning. But is that really the case? Joining me now for more is Christopher Chambers, journalism professor at Georgetown University. And Christopher, thank you so much for joining me. Now, I wanted to get your opinion on the case with Vitaly Churkin. In your opinion, was it simply an edit for time or a case of censorship?
It looks like censorship to me because, yes, when you're taping, you do edit for time. There are things that get trimmed. However, I mean, every media outlet, especially in visual medium like television, cable television, satellite, does that. But again, it is for form. It is to pare down excess. It's to pare down repetitiveness. You do not go to what might be the lead of the story. And it looks like the meat, the lead, the thesis of the story was affected by this. And, you know, I think that it shows you how sloppy CNN has gotten in the last few years. I mean, since the beginning of the Jeff Zucker administration there at CNN. It's sloppiness that shades over to censorship. I don't know if it was intentional, but it's so sloppy that it seems that way.
Now, is something like this, would you consider it an isolated incident or a symptom of CNN or Christiane Amanpour's larger political stance in your view?
Well, I think it's sloppiness on the part of CNN. Again, this has been the hallmark since, especially since the Zucker administration basically began there under the Time Warner banner. Christiane Amanpour does have, like all reporters and all commentators and analysts, which is what she is, a point of view. And you must also realize on the other side, she is a bridge to the old glory days of CNN with Bernard Shaw and John Holloman and Frank Sesno. But all those people are gone. And they have jumped ships. Soledad O'Brien has jumped ship. Frank Sesno has gone into university teaching like I have. She is the last of that breed. And so it would be sad to think that she would use a point of view to edit the meaning of an interview with the subject, the interview source, who was the Russian ambassador. It doesn't get much more newsworthy than that. If there's something repetitive, if there's some surplusage there, I can see that. But this is the Russian ambassador.
Now, I've heard media critics say it time and time again that there's no such thing as objectivity these days. Do you think that's true?
Oh, I think that there's objectivity when it's in the interest of serving the ratings. Usually the ratings are served by the serving up of raw meat to your target demographics. If you look at MSNBC to an extent, and definitely to an extent on Fox News, and then you mix in other media like satellite and talk radio, where the demographics are even more defined. Yes, I mean, there's no objectivity. Objectivity is a tool, just like taking a point of view. There's no absolutes there. It is just a tool. So, if the tool means that you can get more viewers, you can generate some controversy, even if you get caught. I mean, CNN now has eyes on its website and on its TV because they've been caught in this controversy of possibly censoring the Russian ambassador's words. So more people are watching. So it's like, hey, we win even if we mess up because people are going to talk about us.
So let's take a step back and consider CNN's business model. The network has been sinking in the ratings over the latest years. You mentioned Jeff Zucker's administration. Can you put a finger on what the problem might be?
Well, it's basically ferment or things falling apart in these various broadcast media outlets. CNN's business model counts on taking the other demographics from, say, Fox News, which has a very old, skewed to almost white male, older white male demographic. Well, CNN is battling for everybody else, but everybody else is looking at other media. They're looking at news media, like younger people are looking at BuzzFeed. Younger people and people in their middle age groups are watching outlets like RT. So they're battling for that, and they have to be a little more edgy and controversial to get those eyes on the screen and get those eyes on the social media and their alter ego websites to get their message across. And that's what Jeff Zucker has been doing. He's been trying to make things edgy, trying to stir things up. But he hasn't always stirred things up in a good way.